Okay, tonight's homework is going to be a mixture of problem solving and a skill that we learned a while back, multiples. Just want to hit on it again before your test coming up this week. So, let's read and let's start with this first problem that you do not have on your paper, but you are going to go ahead and use the blank spot on the back of your paper to record your answers or to write out any kind of solving that I'm doing. So here we go. Read on the screen with me. Susie read for 36 hours last semester. So I'm going to go ahead and read with my pen. I know that Susie is 36 hours. All right, Lori read for 108 hours last semester. So I'm going to go ahead and put 108 by Lori because I know that's how many hours she read. Which equation, so I'm looking for the equation, not the answer, correctly shows how many more times Lori read than Susie. So I want to find out how many more times Lori read than Susie, which means I have to take Susie's score, multiply it by something to get Lori's score. So I know if Susie's score is 36, I have to figure out what I have to multiply that to get 108. Now, we're going to learn how to be good test takers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at each problem and see which one would be the best to solve this problem. So now we have 6 times 6 equals 36, which is true. 6 times 6 is 36. And I understand where 36 came from. It came from Susie. But where did the 6 times 6 come from? Where's Lori's information? What does it have to do with anything? It doesn't. So we're going to mark that out. Then we have 36 plus 72 at B equals 108, which it does. If I take 36 and I add 72, I will get 108. But I'm not combining, which add means combined. I'm not going to combine Susie and Lori's score or how many hours they read. So I'm not going to combine that. So therefore, it doesn't solve my problem. So that's wrong. Now, 36 times 108 does equal 3,888. If I wasn't sure, I could easily write this out. 108 times 36. I'm going to use the standard algorithm that we've been working on. 8 times 6 is 48, carry my 4. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. Done with that. 6 times 1 is 6. Got that. Hold up, wait a minute. Got to put a 0 in it. Got that. Now, 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is 2. And 3 times 1 is 3. Add all that together, and I'm just making sure that it does work. So I just proved it. It is 3,888. But what's the deal? Am I saying that we have 36 108 times, or am I saying we have 108 36 times? Is that what's happening in our story with Susie and Lori? Did Lori read 36 hours 108 times, or did Susie read 36 hours 108 times, or vice versa? No. So therefore, C is not the right answer. Process of elimination tells me it's probably going to be D. But let's look. 36 times 3 equals 108. Well, let's make sure it does first. We could have made a mistake somewhere else, and this is going to make sure we don't. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry my 1. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is it's 108. And look, when we first read the problem, we actually set up the equation here, and it matches. So D is the correct answer. All right, let's move right along to the next problem. Okay, here's our next problem. It is going to also be worked out on the back of your page that you have. This is real important because you're going to have a problem very similar to this on your test, and you're going to really want to be able to do a good job on it. So here we go. Let's read with our pen. Joe earned 2 more shoe tags than Will. So if I want to break that down, I know that if I take Will's and I add 2, I will get Joe. That's what it says, right? Joe earned 2 more than Will. So Will plus 2 equals Joe. Good. Bud earned 10 shoe tags. So I know Bud equals 10. They tell me that right out, so I got that. Which is twice as many points as Joe. So I take Joe whatever he got. I multiply it by 2 because twice means 2. And that will give me 10, which is Will's, right? That's easy. I know 5 times 2 is 10. So, Joe equals, I don't need that S, Joe equals 5. Now, how many points did Will score? Okay, well I know Joe is 5 because 5 times 2 is 10. I know Bud is 10. Joe over here, oh look, right here that Joe is going to be written 5. So Will plus 2 equals 5. What plus 2 equals 5? Well, 5 minus 2 equals 3. So Will earned 3. And we did that through process of elimination. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Our next problem is about Mrs. Jones's class, and you again do not have this on your page, so I want you to use the back of your page to work this out with me. It is very similar to some test questions, so you're going to want to really pay attention and make sure you do a good job. So here we go. Mrs. Jones's class bought 27 packs of Airheads. So that's a huge important thing, 27 packs of Airheads. Each pack had both watermelon and orange flavors. So there was 2 flavors in each pack. That was good. Each pack had 10 Airheads in it. So I have a lot of words each. Lots of multiplication there. They made $3 for each candy sold, and they made $332 from selling watermelon Airheads. Okay, lots of information here. Write an equation that shows how much money they made all together, which a lot of people think all together means to add, and it doesn't necessarily mean to add. There's a lot of ways you can find all together, but it definitely means we're looking for everything included. So what are we going to do? Well, we have to start somewhere, and there's a lot of information. So where should we start? Well, I know that I'm going to have to multiply the $3 to find out how much money they made. But to find the $3, I am going to need to know how many, what? What am I looking for? I need to know how many Airheads. Right, you need to know how many Airheads, right, how many Airheads they bought. So let's do that. So to find out how many Airheads they bought, we need to know how many total packs there are, which are 27. So let's write that number down. And each pack had 10, so that's 27 times 10. Now, if they made $3 for each candy sold, and that's all the candy that's in there, that means they're going to have to multiply each of those times 3. They made $332 from selling watermelon Airheads. Well, I know that this will tell me how much money they made all together. This is just extra information that I don't need right now. So I'm going to ignore that right now. So here's my equation. 27 times 10 times 3. Now to solve that, which I don't have to do right here, but I'm going to go ahead and solve it for you anyway to make sure you understand, is that you can multiply anything that you want. Well, I'm going to probably take the obvious, you know 10 is my favorite number, and multiply by 10. So 27 times 10 is 270, which I can easily multiply by 3. Remember, this is my answer, so I have it circled. So 270 times 3. This is a 1-digit number, so that's going to be easy. There you go. We got 21 right there. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so it looks like it's $810. Now, let's go to B. What amount of money was made from the orange flavored Airheads? Wait a minute. This is where this piece of information is important now. Look. This is from watermelon. So if 332 were from watermelon, how much came from orange? Well, what is my total amount made? Well, my total we just found out right here is 810. So to find out how much they made from orange, I'd have to subtract the watermelon, which is 332, minus 808, minus, well, 810 minus 332. This is just like finding change in a problem. So let's go ahead and line that up. 10 minus 2 is 8. Can't do that. 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. So they made $478 from selling the orange. There must have been more orange in that pack than watermelon. Okay, good. Moving right along. We are now going to change courses a little bit, and we're going to review multiples. Turn your paper over to the front. You're going to see some multiple choice questions and a Venn diagram dealing with multiples. But first, let's go ahead and decide what is a multiple. We've used this word a lot lately. Multiples are the answers that you get when you're multiplying. It's skip counting. So what are multiples? Multiples is skip counting. It is repeated addition. And it's multiplying by the same number. So let's find all the multiples for 2. Let's go right down here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. There you go. Hopefully that helps you. And let's find all the multiples of 2. So if we listed the multiples of 2, what are we doing? We're skip counting by 2. So let's do it. Start with 2. 2, comma, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'll let you keep going for a while. Okay, good. So basically we were counting by 2s. Those are all multiples of 2. If you were to look at a multiplication sentence, let's look at one for, let's say, the number 10. Now, we know that 10 is a multiple of 2, right? So it's going to equal 10. That's our product. That's our multiple. We know that to get 10, we have to multiply by 2. Times 2. These are all the 2 multiples. What times 2 equals 10? 5 times 2 equals 10. So 5 and 2 have special names. These are called factors. And the 10 here would be called a multiple. Just a little bit of vocabulary that you need to know. Now, can you now list the multiples of 3? Of course you can. What do you have to do? Count by 3s. 3, 6, 9. Go on. I'm going to let you finish. Hit pause. Give me 10 more. 10 more multiples of 3. And then hit play again and we'll continue. Okay. So now what we're going to do, since you have all the multiples of 3 listed already, I'm going to move this out of our way so we can see. We are now going to use what we just learned and write our Venn diagram. So we're going to take multiples of 2 and multiples of 3, some that are different and then some are the same, and put them in our Venn diagram. So here we go. Multiples of 2 are, let's find some. We have that are not 3, just 2. We have 2 would be just in the 2s, not in the 3s. 4 would be just over here, and 8. What would be in the 3s and not the 2s? We would have 3. Couldn't write 6 because 6 would be 3 and 2, so I can write 6 here in the middle. 9 would be over here. Could we write 12? Nope, we would have to write 12 right here because it's a multiple of both. We could write 15 over here though. And then we need one more, which would be 18. So now, what do you notice about the multiples of 2 and the multiples of 3? Well, hopefully you saw the connection that if it's a multiple of 3, it could be an odd or even number. But if it's an even number, it's a multiple of both 2 and 3 right here. And the multiples of 2 have to be only even. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use these ideas about multiples, and you are going to answer the multiple choice questions at the bottom of your page. Now, you're going to have to actually work them out. If you're looking for multiples of 3 and 6, you're going to be skip counting to find that. Use good test taking strategies to do that. So go ahead and answer numbers 4 through 9 now. When you're finished, hit play again, and we're going to do one more problem, and then you'll be finished for the evening. Okay, last one. Problem solving with multiples. This is one that you're going to have to really think about. Let's go ahead and read with our pen. Robin said that all the multiples of 2 are also all the multiples of 6. Okay, what is Robin saying? She said that if it's a 2, it's also a 6. Okay. Lauren said that all the multiples of 6 are also 2. So if it's a 6, it must be a 2. Only one of them can be correct. Is Robin or Lauren correct in their thinking? And explain how we know. Okay. So Robin says that all the multiples of 2 are also all the multiples of 6, which means if I give me the multiples of 2, I'm going to write that here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Let's stop there. Now let's do my multiples of 6. I'll color code that for you. So that'll be 6, 12, 18, 24, I'll stop at 30. There you go. Now, let's look. Are all the multiples of 2 going to be a 6 multiple? Are all these going to be 6s? Well, let's see. Did we get to all of them? Well, no, we didn't. We didn't say 2 was a multiple of 6. It's not. We didn't say 4 was a multiple of 6. We didn't say 8 was a multiple of 6. So can Robin be right? No, Robin is incorrect. Now, why is Robin wrong? Because two, 4, 8, just for an example, are all multiples of what? Of 2, but not 6. So, is Lauren wrong or right? Let's look. Lauren said all the multiples of 6 are also 2. So let's see, can we find any 6s that are not 2s? Well, that's a multiple of 2 because 2, 4, 6. 12 is a multiple of 2. Remember, all the multiples of 2 are even, and these are all even numbers. So Lauren is correct. Why? Because all multiples, I'm getting sloppy. Don't mean to, sorry. Of 6 are what? Even numbers, and I'm running out of room. And even numbers are what? Multiples of 2. All right, good job. You're going to be doing some more of these types of problems in tomorrow. Make sure that you can list your multiples and you know how to list them so you can problem solve problems like Lauren and Robin have. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.